Welcome, fellow coders and curious minds, to the Tech Interview Gauntlet, where dreams are made, crushed, and occasionally resurrected. Today, we're diving into the labyrinth that is the tech interview process, a place where your code is your sword, your algorithms are your shield, and your sanity is, well, optional. Now let's set the stage. Picture this. You've spent countless hours honing your skills, debugging code at ungodly hours, and surviving on a diet of caffeine and sheer determination. You finally land that coveted interview, and suddenly, you're thrust into an arena where you're expected to perform like a gladiator. No pressure, right? But fear not, for this isn't just any ordinary battle. This is a battle of wits, logic, and maybe a little bit of luck. And like any good gladiator, you need to be prepared. So let's talk about what you're up against. First up, the infamous whiteboard interview. The whiteboard, a blank canvas where your thoughts are laid bare for all to see. It's a place where your code doesn't just need to run. It needs to be beautiful, elegant, and above all, correct. It's like being asked to paint the Mona Lisa with a dry erase marker while someone watches over your shoulder, critiquing every brushstroke. Next, we have the coding challenge, the digital equivalent of a high-stakes escape room. You're given a problem, a ticking clock, and a keyboard that's seen better days. Your task: to solve the unsolvable, to conquer the unconquerable, and to do it all before your coffee gets cold. It's a test of speed, accuracy, and your ability to Google like a pro. And let's not forget the behavioral interview, where your technical prowess takes a backseat to your social skills. Here you're expected to be a charming, articulate, and well-rounded individual. It's like a first date, but instead of discussing your favorite movies, you're explaining why you left your last job and how you handle conflict. Spoiler alert, "I just ignore it until it goes away" is not the right answer. But why do we put ourselves through this? Why do we willingly subject ourselves to this gauntlet of stress and scrutiny? Because, dear viewers, on the other side of this battlefield lies the promise of opportunity. The chance to work on groundbreaking projects, to collaborate with some of the brightest minds in the industry, and to make an impact that goes beyond lines of code. So whether you're a seasoned veteran of the tech interview circuit or a wide-eyed newcomer, this video is for you. We're going to arm you with tips, tricks, and maybe a few laughs along the way. Because at the end of the day, the tech interview isn't just a test of your skills. It's a test of your resilience, your creativity, and your ability to adapt. So buckle up, grab your favorite snack, and let's embark on this journey together. Welcome to the Tech Interview Gauntlet, where the stakes are high, the challenges are real, and the rewards are worth every moment of sweat and tears. Let's get started. Chapter 1: Understanding the Interview Process. All right, folks, let's dive headfirst into the murky waters of the tech interview process. If you've ever felt like you're navigating a maze with no map, you're not alone. But fear not, because we're about to shed some light on this enigmatic journey. So grab your metaphorical compass, and let's get started. First things first, let's talk about the purpose of the tech interview. Spoiler alert, it's not just about testing your coding skills. Sure, knowing your way around a for loop is important, but companies are looking for more than just a code monkey. They're searching for problem solvers, creative thinkers, and team players. So if you thought you could get by with just memorizing algorithms, think again. Now, let's break down the stages of the interview process. It's a bit like a video game, with each level presenting its own unique challenges. Level 1, the phone screen. This is your first chance to make a good impression, and trust me, first impressions matter. It's usually a brief chat with a recruiter or a hiring manager to assess whether you're a potential fit for the role. Think of it as a mini boss battle. It's not too difficult, but it sets the tone for the rest of the game. Next up, level 2, the technical interview. This is where the real fun begins. You'll likely face a series of coding challenges designed to test your problem-solving abilities and your knowledge of data structures and algorithms. It's a bit like being thrown into a pit with a hungry lion and being told to tame it using only your wits and a rubber band. But don't worry, with practice and preparation, you can emerge victorious. Then we have level 3, the on-site interview. This is the final boss battle, folks. It's an all-day affair where you'll meet with multiple team members, each armed with their own set of questions and challenges. You'll be tested not only on your technical skills, but also on your ability to communicate, collaborate, and think on your feet. It's intense, it's exhausting, and it's your chance to shine. But wait, there's more. Let's not forget about the dreaded behavioral interview. This is where you'll be asked about your past experiences, your strengths and weaknesses, and how you handle various work-related situations. It's a bit like therapy, but with more judgment. The key here is to be honest, self-aware, and to have a few good stories up your sleeve. Remember, they're not just looking for a coder, they're looking for a team member. Now, you might be wondering, why is this process so intense? Well, dear viewer, it's because companies want to make sure they're hiring the right person for the job. They want to see how you handle pressure, how you approach problems, and how you fit into their culture. It's a bit like dating, but with more algorithms and less candlelight. So how do you navigate this labyrinth without losing your mind? Preparation is key. Research the company, practice coding challenges, and brush up on your soft skills. And remember, it's not just about getting the job, it's about finding the right fit for you. After all, you don't want to end up in a place where you're more stressed than a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. In conclusion, the tech interview process is a complex beast, but with the right mindset and preparation, you can conquer it. So take a deep breath, stay focused, and remember, every challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. And who knows, you might just come out of this gauntlet with a shiny new job offer and a newfound sense of confidence. All right, that's enough wisdom for one chapter. Stick around, because next, we're diving into the nitty-gritty of technical interview preparation. You won't want to miss it. Chapter 2. Preparing your technical arsenal. Welcome back, brave adventurers, to the next leg of our journey through the tech interview gauntlet. You've made it past the introduction, and now it's time to arm yourself for battle. We're diving into the heart of the matter, preparing your technical arsenal. Because let's face it, showing up to a tech interview without preparation is like bringing a spoon to a sword fight. Not recommended. First things first, let's talk about the foundation of your technical arsenal. Data structures and algorithms. Yes, I know, they're the broccoli of the coding world. Not everyone's favorite, but absolutely essential for a healthy coding diet. Companies love to throw problems at you that require a deep understanding of things like arrays, linked lists, trees, and graphs. If these terms sound like something out of a fantasy novel, it's time to hit the books, or maybe a good online course. Now, I know what you're thinking. Do I really need to know all this? Well, unless you're planning on charming your interviewer with interpretive dance, the answer is yes. These concepts are the building blocks of efficient code, and knowing them inside out will make you a formidable opponent in the interview arena. So, dust off that old textbook, or better yet, find a resource that doesn't make you want to gouge your eyes out with a rusty fork. There are plenty of engaging platforms out there that make learning this stuff less painful, and dare I say, even fun. Next up, let's talk practice. And no, I don't mean just skimming through problems and nodding along as if you understand them. I mean rolling up your sleeves, getting your hands dirty, and actually solving problems. Websites like LeetCode, HackerRank, and CodeSignal are your new best friends. They offer a plethora of problems to tackle, ranging from, I can do this in my sleep, to, why did I choose this career path? Start with the easy ones to build your confidence, then gradually work your way up to the more challenging problems. It's like leveling up in a game, but instead of unlocking new weapons, you're unlocking the ability to not crash and burn in your interview. But wait, there's more. Don't just practice in isolation. Time yourself. Set a timer and simulate the pressure of a real interview. This will help you manage your time effectively and prevent you from spending an eternity on one problem while your interviewer wonders if you've fallen asleep. Remember, in the tech interview world, time is of the essence, and efficiency is your best friend. Now let's not forget about coding languages. While it's great to be a polyglot in the programming world, it's better to be a master of one than a jack of all trades. Pick a language that you're comfortable with and that is commonly used in the industry. Think Python, Java, or C++. Become so familiar with it that you can code in your sleep. Know its quirks, its strengths, and its weaknesses. This way, when you're faced with a problem in an interview, you won't be fumbling around trying to remember syntax. Instead, you'll be able to focus on solving the problem at hand. And finally, let's talk about the importance of understanding the problem before you start coding. I know, it's tempting to dive right in and start typing away like you're writing the next great American novel. But take a step back. Read the problem carefully. Ask clarifying questions if needed. Make sure you understand what's being asked before you start writing code. This will save you from the dreaded, "Oh no, I've been solving the wrong problem" moment, which, trust me, is not a fun realization to have mid-interview. In conclusion, preparing your technical arsenal is all about building a strong foundation, practicing with purpose, mastering your language of choice, and understanding the problem before you dive in. It's not rocket science, but it does require dedication and effort. So, arm yourself well, fellow coders, and get ready to face the challenges ahead with confidence and skill. Because when the time comes to step into the interview arena, you'll be ready to show them what you're made of. That's it for Chapter 2. Stay tuned, because next we're going to tackle the art of the whiteboard interview. Spoiler alert, it involves more than just having nice handwriting. See you soon. Chapter 3. Navigating Behavioral Questions with Style. Welcome back, Code Warriors, to the next chapter of our Tech Interview Gauntlet series. You've sharpened your technical skills, but now it's time to switch gears and dive into the realm of behavioral questions. Yes, those seemingly innocuous questions that can make even the most seasoned coder break into a cold sweat. But fear not, because today we're going to learn how to tackle these questions with style, grace, and maybe even a touch of humor. So what exactly are behavioral questions? Well, they're the questions that probe into your past experiences, your personality, and how you handle various work situations. They're designed to assess whether you're not just a great coder, but also a great human being. Think of them as the personality test you never asked for but desperately need to ace. Now let's start with the basics. The STAR method. No, it's not a new coding language, but it might as well be your guiding star in navigating these questions. STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. It's a structured way to answer behavioral questions, and trust me, it works like a charm. Let's break it down. First, you set the stage by describing the situation. Give just enough context to paint a picture, but don't go overboard. This isn't story time with grandma. Next, outline the task. What was your role in this situation? What were you trying to achieve? Then, move on to the action. This is where you shine. Explain what you did, how you did it, and why you chose that approach. Finally, wrap it up with the result. What was the outcome? Did you save the day? Did you learn a valuable lesson? This is your chance to highlight your impact. Now let's talk about some common behavioral questions and how to approach them. One classic is, tell me about a time you faced a challenge at work. The old overcoming adversity question. This is where you can showcase your problem-solving skills and resilience. Remember, it's not just about the challenge itself, but how you rose to the occasion. Did you rally the team? Did you find a creative solution? Did you learn something new? Whatever it is, make sure your story has a clear arc and a satisfying resolution. Another favorite is, describe a time you had a conflict with a coworker. This one can be tricky because nobody wants to air their dirty laundry in an interview. But honesty is key. Choose a situation where you handled the conflict professionally and constructively. Focus on how you communicated, how you listened, and how you worked towards a resolution. And for the love of code, don't throw anyone under the bus. Remember, they're looking for a team player, not a drama queen. And then there's the dreaded, what's your greatest weakness? The question that makes us all squirm. The trick here is to choose a real weakness, but one that you're actively working to improve. Maybe you're not the best at public speaking, but you've been taking steps to get better. Or perhaps you're a bit of a perfectionist, but you're learning to let go of the small stuff. Whatever it is, show that you're self-aware and committed to personal growth. Now, let's add a little flair to your answers. Inject some personality. Show some enthusiasm. And if appropriate, don't be afraid to sprinkle in a bit of humor. Remember, interviews are as much about chemistry as they are about skills. You want your interviewer to see you as someone they'd enjoy working with, not just a robot who can code. In conclusion, navigating behavioral questions is all about preparation, honesty, and a dash of charisma. Use the STAR method to structure your answers. Choose your stories wisely, and let your personality shine through. With these tools in your arsenal, you'll be ready to tackle any behavioral question that comes your way with style and confidence. That's it for Chapter 3. Stick around, because next we're going to dive into the art of the whiteboard interview. Spoiler alert, it involves more than just having nice handwriting. See you soon. Chapter 4. the art of problem solving under pressure. Welcome back, fellow code warriors, to another thrilling installment of our Tech Interview Gauntlet series. You've mastered the basics, honed your technical skills, and navigated the murky waters of behavioral questions. But now, it's time to tackle one of the most daunting challenges of all, solving problems under pressure. Yes, we're diving into the art of keeping your cool when the clock is ticking, the stakes are high, and your brain feels like it's been replaced by a potato. So let's set the scene. You're in the middle of a technical interview, and you're presented with a problem that seems to have been designed by a particularly sadistic puzzle master. Your palms are sweaty, your heart is racing, and you can practically hear the Jeopardy theme song playing in the background. But fear not, because today we're going to arm you with strategies to turn that pressure into your ally, not your enemy. First things first, take a deep breath. Seriously, do it. Right now. Inhale, exhale. Feel better? Good. The first step to solving problems under pressure is to calm your nerves. Remember, panic is the enemy of clarity. So before you dive into the problem, take a moment to center yourself. Remind yourself that you've prepared for this, that you're capable, and that no matter what happens, it's not the end of the world. Now, let's talk strategy. When faced with a complex problem, it's easy to get overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of it all. But here's the trick. Break it down. Divide and conquer. Instead of trying to tackle the entire problem at once, break it into smaller, more manageable pieces. Identify the core components and tackle them one at a time. This not only makes the problem less intimidating, but it also helps you maintain focus and avoid getting lost in the weeds. Next, don't be afraid to think out loud. Yes, I know talking to yourself might make you feel like a mad scientist, but in an interview setting, it's actually a good thing. Articulating your thought process not only helps you organize your ideas, but it also gives your interviewer insight into your problem-solving approach. And who knows, they might even offer a helpful nudge in the right direction if they see you're on the wrong track. Another key strategy is to embrace the power of pseudocode. Before you start writing actual code, sketch out your solution in plain English or a simplified version of code. This allows you to map out your logic without getting bogged down by syntax. Think of it as creating a blueprint before you start building. Once you're confident in your plan, you can translate it into real code with greater ease and accuracy. Now let's address the elephant in the room, mistakes. They're going to happen. You're going to make them. And that's okay. The important thing is how you handle them. If you realize you've made a mistake, own up to it. Acknowledge it, correct it, and move on. Interviewers understand that nobody's perfect, and they're often more interested in how you recover from errors than the errors themselves. So, don't let a misstep derail your confidence. Instead, use it as an opportunity to demonstrate your resilience and adaptability. And finally, let's talk about time management. In a high-pressure situation, it's easy to lose track of time and spend too long on one aspect of the problem. To avoid this, set mini deadlines for yourself. Allocate a certain amount of time to each part of the problem and stick to it as best you can. This will help you maintain a steady pace and ensure that you don't run out of time before you've had a chance to showcase your full solution. In conclusion, the art of problem solving under pressure is all about staying calm, breaking down the problem, thinking out loud, using pseudocode, embracing mistakes, and managing your time effectively. With these strategies in your toolkit, you'll be well equipped to tackle even the most daunting of challenges with confidence and poise. That's it for Chapter 4. You've made it through the gauntlet of problem solving under pressure. Stay tuned for our next chapter where we'll explore the final frontier, the art of asking questions. Because, as it turns out, asking the right questions can be just as important as giving the right answers. Until next time, keep coding and keep conquering. Chapter 5. Post-interview strategies and follow-ups. Welcome back, intrepid code adventurers, to the final chapter of our Tech Interview Gauntlet series. You've navigated the treacherous waters of technical questions, behavioral inquiries, and problem-solving under pressure. But before you hang up your coding cape and call it a day, there's one last arena to conquer, the post-interview phase. Yes, the interview might be over, but your journey is not. Today, we're diving into the art of post-interview strategies and follow-ups, because how you handle this phase can be the cherry on top of your interview sundae. So you've just walked out of the interview room, Your brain is buzzing, and you're replaying every question in your head like a Netflix series you can't stop binge watching. But before you spiral into a vortex of self-doubt, let's talk about what you should do next. First things first, take a moment to decompress. Interviews are mentally exhausting, and you deserve a breather. Whether it's grabbing a coffee, taking a walk, or indulging in your favorite video game, give yourself a little time to unwind. You've earned it. But don't get too comfortable, because there's work to be done. Now, let's talk about the thank you email. Yes, it's a thing, and yes, it's important. Within 24 hours of your interview, send a concise, polite, and genuine thank you note to your interviewer. This isn't just about politeness. It's a chance to reinforce your interest in the position and to remind them why you're a great fit. Mention something specific from your conversation to show that you were engaged and attentive. And for the love of all things code, proofread your email. Typos in a thank you note are like bugs in your code, unwelcome and avoidable. Next, let's discuss the waiting game. The dreaded period of uncertainty, where you refresh your email every 5 minutes and jump every time your phone buzzes. It's tough, but it's part of the process. During this time, resist the urge to pester your interviewer with constant follow-ups. A single polite inquiry, if you haven't heard back by the expected timeline, is fine, but don't overdo it. Remember, patience is a virtue, even if it's not one of your strong suits. While you're waiting, take this opportunity to reflect on your performance. What went well? What could you improve for next time? This self-assessment is crucial for your growth as an interviewee. Maybe you nailed the technical questions but stumbled on a behavioral one, or perhaps you realized you need to brush up on a particular data structure. Whatever it is, use this time to identify areas for improvement and make a plan to address them. Now, let's talk about handling rejection. Yes, it's a possibility, and it's something we all face at some point. If you receive a thanks but no thanks email, take it in stride. It's not the end of the world, and it's certainly not a reflection of your worth as a coder or as a person. Instead of dwelling on the negative, use it as a learning opportunity. If possible, ask for feedback. Some companies are willing to provide insights into your performance, which can be invaluable for your future interviews. And remember, the tech industry is vast and full of opportunities. Just because one door closes doesn't mean another won't open. Keep honing your skills, keep applying, and keep pushing forward. Resilience is key, and your persistence will pay off in the long run. Finally, let's talk about the flip side, receiving an offer. Congratulations, but before you pop the champagne, take a moment to evaluate the offer carefully. Consider not just the salary, but also the company culture, the team dynamics, and the growth opportunities. Make sure it's a place where you'll be happy and fulfilled. And if you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to address them with your potential employer. Remember, this is a two-way street, and it's important to ensure it's the right fit for both parties. In conclusion, the post-interview phase is about more than just waiting for a response. It's about expressing gratitude, reflecting on your performance, handling outcomes with grace, and making informed decisions about your future. So, whether you're celebrating a new job or gearing up for the next opportunity, remember that every step of this journey is a chance to learn and grow. And with that, we've reached the end of our Tech Interview Gauntlet series. I hope you found these insights helpful and that you're feeling more prepared to tackle the interview process with confidence and skill. Thank you for joining me on this adventure, and until next time, keep coding, keep learning, and keep conquering. You've got this.